Yo, what's poppin', good people of the tube? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Dalton. I ride and race bikes, and tonight I'm bringing you something super special in my opinion. This is my first ever track race. And interesting thing is it just so happened to be Keirin Night at the San Diego Velodrome. Now, if you're familiar with my channel and you've watched before, then you obviously know that I have raced plenty of road and criteriums this year, so I have a decent amount of experience and fitness to go based on. But I had gone through some of the certification course already before Keirin Night, and I was basically ready to go, ready to race, and learn a whole new discipline. So that's what I'll be doing, and you're going to get a taste of that. So first things first, for any of you who are not familiar, the Keirin is actually a type of race that originated in Japan, and traditionally it's a 7-lap race total. 3 of those laps are moto pace laps. The moto picks you up to about 30 miles an hour, and then the moto will actually drop you and the rest of the group off. And on a 333-meter track, like the San Diego Velodrome, then you would actually get 4 laps of racing. Now, we're in a little bit different situation, of course. We had quite a few riders sign up for the Keirin this night, so it was a packed house. Ultimately, they ended up splitting it into 4 different groups and 4 heats for each individual group. So there was an A group, B group, C group, D group, and the idea was that the fastest 2 individuals from each heat would move up to the category above them, and then the slowest 2 individuals would move down to the category below them. And by the end of it, the idea was that everybody was sort of on equal playing field in the A category, B category, C category, and D category. Now, because I am new to track and this is my first ever race, I started out in the C category, and basically it was up to me to move up. So my goal was to get up to the A category. Now, we had actually already raced 1 heat, and so what you're seeing here on the screen is actually the B category. Spoiler alert, I won the C's. I got a pretty huge gap coming down the final straight, which was awesome. I was super stoked on that. But yeah, that moved me up to the B's, and so now we're about to roll out in the B's. So I will sort of just break down how this shindig goes. And obviously, like I said, it's my first track race ever. I have absolutely 0 experience here, so definitely not here to tell you how to race Keirin, but I can definitely talk about how I did it, and maybe talk about some of the stuff that I did or didn't do right. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. This is my first time doing it, but I did pretty well. So anyway, what you saw there is the moto came by, and yeah, I rolled off terribly. So not a big deal because we start out a lot slower than, you know, the 30-mile-an-hour pace, and then we will just slowly ramp it up over time. Another critical point, just want to touch on real quick, is our order here is not completely random. So, well, actually, I guess it is completely random, but you get assigned your number based on like a draw from a hat. That's how we did it. And so I've actually drawn a pretty good position here. There's 7 or 8 in each heat. So I've drawn, I believe, numero 3 here. So I'm sitting 3rd wheel. This is actually a good position for me all night. Like, I did pretty well from here. Now, in the Keirin, what I didn't actually realize when I did the first heat is that you can actually, after I think 2 laps, you can slot up. You just can't pass the moto itself, but you can slot up and box people in, which is pretty cool. So as you can see here, I realized that, and I'm like, dude, I'm not gonna hang out in the pool lane if everybody's gonna be trying to box me in. So popped out of there, and I'm sitting on the rider in front of me's wheel, and you know, he and Noah in the black kit at the very front, who's sitting behind the moto, are just super strong. So they came down from the A category, and I know that they're just going to be giving it the business, and they're on monstrous gears. I was running like, I think 97 gear inches. So for all you non-track nerds that don't know gear inches just yet or anything like that, I was running like a 48-13. So the track is a little different. You're not going to be running like your standard road bike gearing. So yeah, on the state black label, which I just kind of unboxed, built up, and made a couple quick modifications to. Yeah, running the 48-13 on there this night. Decent amount of gear inches, I guess. But yeah, so I'm letting this rider actually kind of like bully me off this wheel, and I don't know why I gave it to him. I was just like, okay, yeah, this seems fine. I don't think that was bad. That was not a good decision, man, because when you're up track from other riders, it's so hard to come around them. So you can see, like, here starts our sprint, and the moto just pulled off, and I'm like absolutely drilling. Now, one thing I do want to say is my data might not be like perfectly timed here. I was really trying hard to get the GPS to work, but it's tough on the track. It doesn't want to know where you're at. But man, these dudes just gapped us so bad, and I was sitting so far back when I started that sprint. I should have just gone earlier, but I'm holding like 650 all the way here. Come across the line, and boom, third in this heat. So basically that just means I get to sit here and stay in the B category for the next heat, which we will jump to right now. All right, so this is heat 3. I was not so fortunate in heat 3 to have pulled a decent number. I pulled a 7 of 8. And so, yeah, this is kind of a disaster starting position for me. And as you'll see here, it's going to be much tougher to get it done. Now, this is kind of a weird spot I'm in. So, yeah, once I get connected here, obviously, I was just terrible at rolling off this day. I don't know what my problem was. But anyway, yeah, once I get connected, like, I don't want to move up and, like, try and box people super early because I think that is just going to mean that I'm eating a ton of wind, and so maybe that's not a good idea. I don't know. Like, maybe people do that in the Keirin. They're just like, yo, as soon as I can get up there, I'm going to do it. But that was not my goal. I was going to hang back here for a while and then just try and move up later. And I think the rider behind me actually moves up in this heat, which is helpful because then it kind of tows me to the front also. But this one's kind of funny because, man, like, the sprint gets a little crazy, and this is where I really learned, like, the track is really long at the boards, and it's a heck of a lot shorter when you're down in the sprinter's lane. So I'm just chilling here on the back of the pack. I'm like kind of waiting. As you can see, we're just sort of ramping the speed up, like 1 mile an hour at a time each lap. I think we started like 25 miles an hour, and the idea is that we will get dropped off right at 30. So I think it's actually this lap. Looks like it because we're hauling some serious butt here. Oh no, we got one more lap. Yeah, so this is where like I said, the rider behind me, he starts to come around, and I'm like, okay, cool. I will follow his wheel, and we will go to the front together. So I'm like waiting for him to cruise up. Hopefully he can box some people. He actually didn't go up as far as I thought he was going to. I want to be like second wheel. I mean, if we're going to eat wind, we might as well eat all of it. But what I'm realizing is the rider in front of him also kind of popped out and wanted to get better positioning. But now I'm getting pushed up track. I probably should have just maintained my position there. But like I said, first track race, I was like trying to figure it out. Moto comes off, and I'm like, all right, here we go. Now I am going really, really, really far, and so we're coming into the front straight, and then we come up into this corner and we're 4 wide, and unfortunately I'm in like a terrible position to be 4 wide, and you can see I'm just dying. Like, I mean, I'm still doing 750 watts, but that's just like all I can do in this situation. So can't get down in the pull lane. David is inside underneath me. And finally I get an opening, so I get down the pull lane, try and shorten this track up a little bit, and there's just no way, man. So, yeah, locked up, I think 5th in this heat. Still doesn't knock me down to the C category. I stay in the Bs, but yeah, man, that was a close one. I don't know. I just didn't know what I was doing, and went way early, went way long, took the long way around the track. Lesson learned. Now for the last heat, the finals, and I'm in the B category for the finals. So let's check that out. Alright, so once again, I drew a 3, which is a great spot to be in. Big thing here, though, is that I'm sitting behind 2 really strong dudes once again. So, like I said before, gear ratios matter here, gear inches matter here. These dudes are on massive gears, so if they get on top of those gears, they're going to be able to be extremely explosive and get up to, like, really high speeds. So my goal is to just suck wheel and hide behind them and hopefully not let them gap me once again. So we're going to see how that plays out right now. This is our first lap. I'm also, you know, not super worried about people boxing me in this case because the 2 guys in front of me just left the field last time. So if I just stay in the pull lane and kind of stand my ground, don't let anybody come inside on me, then I know I'll be alright. So I just have to maintain the wheel here and not get gapped. That's the biggest thing. And I know as soon as the moto pulls off, they're going to just be going full gas. It's only a lap and a half. It's like, what, 500-600 meters, so it's nothing too crazy. I mean, really, a lot of people can go really hard for that distance, including myself, which is cool. So this was good. This is a good spot to be in for me. I didn't have to come up here and do anything weird. I wasn't like trying to box anybody. I wasn't eating wind. I just stayed underneath, and what you're gonna see, and I think actually on the next lap, is all the riders in the back of the field did come up, and so they start sort of trying to box me in and basically steal the pole lane from me as soon as these guys in front of me haul ass. So coming into the finish straight one more time, I believe. Actually, we might have two more. Yeah, man, I keep forgetting. Like, this is long. So moto ramping us up 27 miles an hour once again. But, like, I mean, if you just look at the fact that I'm doing, like, 450, 500 watts to maintain the speed in the draft. So it's not like just a sprint. Like, you have to ramp it up and be doing, like, a threshold, maybe low VO2 effort for some people, and then still drill it and go, like, full nuclear. So you can see the shadows on my right there coming through that straight, and now here we go. The rider on my right is trying to basically box me here. Noah moves out a little bit. I know the moto's coming off. They start going. And this rider basically comes down like he's going to take the pole lane. And I was like, no siree. It's my lane. But that like half-second hesitation of me not immediately pedaling hard allows the two guys in front of me to just get just enough gap to where I was no longer on the wheel. And so here I was like, oh man, I think I can like close this down. And so I'm going super hard, spinning my life away. You can see I just kept ramping back up to like 800 watts. But I just start to die. The other two heats are taking a toll on me. And luckily I gapped the back of the field pretty good. But yeah, so I come across third place and boom, the finale of the Bs. I lock up a podium, my first ever track race in the B category. So there we go. That's how the cookie crumbles. And here's a sweet podium picture for you guys. Noah's eating a hot dog, which is also pretty cool. Shout out Richard Santee for the photo. And I will see you guys again soon. I did race another track race after this. Sorry, I've been like slacking. But that one's gonna come soon too, and that one was even better result. So stay tuned. See you guys soon.